Lance Stroll's struggles this season hit another low in Montreal while his teammate continues to secure points, leaving the Canadian driver grappling with control issues over his car. Despite contributing 14 out of Aston Martin's 22 points so far, it's evident that Stroll's performance is waning, a fact he has openly acknowledged. Speculation is mounting. Could Lance Stroll make the difficult decision to replace his own son? If so, who might Aston Martin consider as Stroll's successor beginning in 2026? There's no denying it, Lance Stroll is becoming a weakness for both the team and the competition, and his recent challenges haven't aided in any comeback efforts. Following wrist surgery during the Barcelona Grand Prix, Lance still hasn't reached his peak performance, prompting the team to ask hard-hitting questions. Is Lance the right fit for our future? Meanwhile, Fernando Alonso is thriving, having scored 8 points over the last few races, and Lance candidly admits the car seems suited to his teammate but not to him. This admission is disheartening as it signals Lance's uncertainty on how to enhance his performance. He elaborated, stating, "We are slow and I expect the same issue in Austria. The car's flaws seem persistently unsolvable. The challenges I face while driving remain constant. Improvement isn't on the horizon. I'm stuck in a cycle of repetitive issues. While I don't notice any difference in the car, perhaps Fernando does, given his impressive results. As for me, I was just too slow." Lance Stroll's remarks reflect a harsh truth. His performance isn't likely to improve for one of two reasons. Either he's struggling to adapt to the car, much like the second drivers at Red Bull, or he's simply not motivated to push harder, knowing his position is secure regardless. I lean towards the latter explanation, especially since he's already racked up 14 points, proving he can be competitive when it matters. When Stroll's patience starts to wane, his conduct takes a hit, both on and off the racetrack, leading to a chaotic situation. Aston Martin appears to be revolving around one driver once more, suffering a steep decline in the Constructors' Championship compared to last year. Although I don't solely blame Lance, he has actually outperformed his teammate in terms of points. The overall momentum seems to favour Alonso again. To further dampen Stroll's spirits, Alonso recently mentioned that scoring points has almost become routine for him in recent races. This positive streak is something he hopes to continue as the season progresses. Expounding on this, the two-time world champion remarked that the consistency in earning points is largely due to strong qualifying performances. Without starting in the top positions on the grid, like 6th, they would struggle to score. With many speedy cars in the mix, such as Williams, Haas and surprisingly Ocon and Hülkenberg, showing strong performances, starting from positions like 12th or 13th could hinder scoring chances. Alonso seems to hint that if he were in Lance's position, achieving points might have been equally challenging. Lance's recent performances have been underwhelming, especially crashing out early in his home race and in Q2 at Barcelona. This may indicate he's losing his passion for the sport. His involvement in rally tests last year hints he might be considering a shift to a different racing scene. Meanwhile, whispers of George Russell potentially joining Aston Martin are becoming intriguing. Although it might seem a stretch, his yet-to-be-renewed contract with Mercedes gives room for speculation. Russell has hinted that his future with Mercedes isn't set in stone, making him a possible contender for Aston Martin. The Silverstone-based team, known for its ambitious goals, has had Verstappen in their sights. However, if the four-time world champion opts out of an unlikely switch, Aston Martin could face tough competition from Mercedes. Should Verstappen head to the Silver Arrows, Aston Martin would need to secure the best driver available, with Russell being a prime candidate. Russell was quite candid when discussing his future with Mercedes. He mentioned that nothing is set in stone, emphasizing that while he is not in talks with other teams, his heart remains with Mercedes. He feels a strong sense of loyalty to the team, as they gave him his big break in Formula One. Despite rumours, especially about Max, he understands why any team would be keen to sign a driver like him. As for Aston Martin, Russell speculates that if their team owner, Lance Stroll, ever considered a change, it would more likely involve replacing Fernando Alonso, not his son Lance. Yet, certain elements in racing can't be controlled, like having a talented driver ready to join who won't wait for familial ties to run their course. The main objective is straightforward: entice drivers with an appealing project and skilled team, hoping they are drawn in much like Newey was. Moreover, teaming up with one of the most brilliant minds in Formula One, Adrian Newey, is an incredible opportunity for any driver to enhance their skills. Yet, despite this advantage, we're back to the initial dilemma. Lance Stroll doesn't quite fit the bill for Aston Martin's aspirations. While he has earned some points this season, by 2025, his performance seems to be tapering off, and it wouldn't be surprising if he only manages to gather a few more minor points before wrapping it up. His consistently pessimistic outlook is doing more harm than he realizes, and relying solely on his father's support doesn't guarantee a secure position within the team. It is crucial to remember that Lance's seat isn't just in his father, Lawrence Stroll's hands. There are other influential figures at Aston Martin now, starting with Newey, a key technical partner, and continuing with Honda, the team's power unit supplier for 2026. Honda's president, Koji Watanabe, has made it clear that they will have significant input regarding the drivers' lineup, much like their previous involvement with Red Bull. Hence, Lance's future with Aston Martin is far from certain. While there's a slim possibility that Lance might recognise this looming threat and improve his game, his recent history of erratic driving makes it hard to believe that a turnaround is on the horizon. Remember the antics from last year? Who could forget the Brazilian Grand Prix when there was a spectacle before the race even started? He got the car stuck in the sand during the formation lap, and it was downright embarrassing. Fast forward to 2023 at the Singapore Grand Prix, where he crashed heavily during qualifying. It was here that rumours flew about Lance's mom urging Lorenz to allow their son to choose his own career path. Unfortunately, that advice was ignored, and now it seems like the 26-year-old is trapped in a career he never wanted. His attitude towards racing engineers and garage crew is often unbearable. Just think back to this year's Barcelona Grand Prix, where he had an explosive outburst, or remember last year's Qatar Grand Prix, when he shoved his physio trainer after an early qualifying exit similar to the Barcelona incident. It's time to question whether Lance truly fits in Formula One. Driving a car doesn't automatically mean he should race, especially if his heart isn't in it. All these issues lead to one critical question. Should Aston Martin consider switching up their driver lineup, and if they do, who should replace Lance Stroll? The obvious candidates are Max Verstappen or George Russell, but if both remain committed to their current teams, what options are left for the Silverstone-based team? Alonso is on their roster, and despite his veteran status, his energy and enthusiasm resemble that of a newcomer. However, given his age, is he truly the contender to secure titles in the Drivers' Championship? Considering all these factors, who would be the ideal candidate to take over Stroll's spot at Aston Martin? And crucially, do you believe the Canadian driver is on the verge of exiting the team? Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below. See you in the next video.